Welcome back. Today I'm going to be making a very tropical and summery tasting dish from Angola called Quiabos con Camarão. So to get started, I have 600 grams of shrimp. In this case, it was about 16 shrimp for these jumbo guys, but your mileage may vary depending on what size shrimp you're using. I'm gonna go ahead and peel off the entire shells from these shrimps, including the tails, which is pretty easy to do off the bat, and it makes for a lot easier eating down the road, so I highly recommend it. And feel free to hold onto those shells for later. You can throw them in the freezer, they'll last forever, and they go great in fish stocks. Check out my Catalan seafood bisque video for a recipe that includes that. But for now, we're going to go ahead and marinate these shrimp. I'm gonna take 3 habanero chilies and mince them up as finely as possible. Feel free to use fewer chilies, no chilies, whatever your tolerance is, just go with it. You can use jalapenos if you want, it's up to you. I'm gonna add those in, as well as the juice from half a lime. And a few pinches of salt. The dish is gonna get most of its seasoning from this marinade, so feel free to go nuts on the salt here. Give those a good mix, and then we can push those off to the side while we work on our other ingredients. Now this dish traditionally uses palm oil, but palm oil has been in the news recently for being just terrible to the environment. It involves a lot of deforestation and endangers orangutan habitats. So I did some research, and a good substitute for palm oil is annatto oil. Annatto, or achiote, which is a South American seed that is used for coloring in a lot of applications, but it's got this sort of nutty flavor. So I'm gonna make some annatto oil using the same method that I would use to make a Chinese chili oil. I'm just gonna heat up some neutral oil, in this case canola, and once it's up to temperature, I'm gonna pour it over about a teaspoon of ground annatto. Let it cool down, and you should see the color of the oil change immediately, and then the ground annatto will settle to the bottom, so you won't have to deal with any sort of sediment floating around. Now into a saute pan over medium-high heat, I'm gonna pour all of that annatto oil, that's about 4 tablespoons. And once it's up to temperature, I'm going to add in 3 cloves of minced garlic. Now already this is smelling amazing. You get the nuttiness of the annatto oil and the garlic mixing together to create a really savory aroma. And as soon as it starts getting fragrant like that, I wanna add in a diced up onion. Be sure to add that in before the garlic starts to brown, otherwise you'll get sort of an acrid burnt flavor to that garlic. So saute that onion until it's translucent. And now we want to take 3 tomatoes and peel and seed them. So in order to do that, we're going to use the age-old method of blanching. Cut a cross shape into the bottom of each of the tomatoes. Dunk them into boiling water for about a minute each. Then run them under some ice cold water to stop the cooking process, after which we can just slide the skin right off. It comes off super easy, no fuss whatsoever. Now cut them up and remove all the seeds. We don't want them adding extra water to the dish because tomatoes have enough water in them to begin with. And once the seeds are removed, we're gonna chop those tomatoes up into 1 centimeter squares. Add those guys in and saute until the tomatoes start breaking down into more of a stew sauce kind of consistency. At this point, we're gonna throw in about 12 medium-sized okra that I've cut into 1 centimeter segments. I'm gonna throw those in, and I'm gonna saute this for about 5 minutes until the juice or slime, whatever you wanna call it, starts leaching out of the okra. And now we can finally go in with our shrimp. Be sure to put that in with all of the marinade because we want that seasoning in there as well. Give it a good stir, cover it up, and let's let that go for 15 minutes. Once 15 minutes are up, we can drizzle the rest of our lime juice over the top of that, add a sprinkle of parsley, and it's ready to plate up with some rice. So summer may be over, but it's living on through the flavors of this dish. You've got the lightly stewed vegetables, the bright kick of lime juice, subtle nuttiness from the annatto oil, all working together with that shrimp. It just really transports me to a beach somewhere. And I hope you give this a try. See you next time. Cheers.